Hey, it's me, Brad Hammond here, your Portland and Vancouver investor loving agent with your market update for July of this year. I'm going to try to make this right around 5 minutes, so I talk fast, so let's get going. So inventory in months is 3.1, more or less right in line with what we've seen the past few years. No surprises there. Same thing with the Portland area sales price heat map. That 450 to 650 is really what's popular. So if you are flipping or looking to sell, that is the place you want to be. Outside of that, it might be a little bit more difficult. And interest rates have kind of shot up lately, but they were at 6.55%. I'm seeing people closer to that, like 6.3, 6.25%. You might have to buy down the rate a little bit, be well qualified in order to get that, but very, very doable. Not quite to that elusive under 6% rate that I am rooting for. Active listings is right on par with where they have been in the past few years. New listings right on the button with where they've been the past few years. No surprises there. Time on market is slightly above, but pending sales have gone up compared to last year's. We didn't have that regular kind of decline signaling the late summer or fall and then winter sell off that we normally see. With a lack of buyers, it's really kind of holding steady. So I'm curious how long that's going to hold on for. And then closed sales had a nice spike up. So yes, I'm kind of foreseeing that there was a little bit of a lull in the early spring. And so I'm wondering if that's just kind of pushing out the regular selling season into late summer. Time will tell. All right, so median sales price is more or less flat. I like to look at median, which is down 1%. Average is up 1.6% compared to June of last year. This is something that I'm going to be continuing to watch is list price being asking price versus the sold price. Right now, we are at minus 0.5%, basically that buyers are on average getting the property for 0.5% less than asking price. But I want to see this and how this translates in the future. But also, when you're looking at this graph, take a look. If you want the most amount of options, then you're going to be looking from like March to May, June. And then if you want the biggest discount, then you're going to be wanting to go from August to December. Oh man, look at December. That's the time to buy, huh? So something to keep in mind, options versus how much you want to pay. All right, affordability index, more or less in line, a little bit lower than what it has been just because of interest rates rising. And building permits, I wanted to show you all this because we've got a really big dip in the residential building permits. Blue is 1 to 4 units. The orange is 5 units and above. And I remember back in like the heyday, back in like 2016 to 2019, 2021-ish, like the skyline was just filled with cranes in the air. But there really haven't been any permits pulled really since 2020, 2021. That has to do with interest rates. It has to do with the population of Oregon declining and now kind of holding steady and more recently growing. But with that is going to be increased rents. So all of these permits and buildings have been completed and those units have now been absorbed and rents have more or less been flat for the past probably 2 years or so. And I think that now we're going to start being able to see rental increases due to a lack of supply in the next probably starting next year and in the foreseeable future. Market conditions are going to be balanced for the next little while, not maybe slightly buyer's market, but more or less balanced. Rents are going to rise, as I mentioned, for the next few years due to a lack of supply. So if you are looking at all into multifamily, now I think is the time to buy before those increased rental rates are factored into the purchase price. Southwest Washington isn't quite the bargain that it used to be. Really, the prices of homes in the Vancouver area is more or less the same as Portland. So we're not seeing that influx of Portlanders moving over to Clark County. And I'm curious if we're going to see people from Vancouver moving into Portland, maybe saving on sales tax. We'll see. Both buyers and sellers aren't really in a rush to transact. Sellers a lot of times are having a really good rate, although we're seeing that less and less. And then buyers aren't having a big motivation to purchase as well. And then as always, good properties and good locations As long as they're priced well, in good condition, they're always going to sell quickly and with multiple offers. So what are your thoughts? Any questions? Are you looking to purchase? Are you looking to sell investment properties? Let me know. I would love to chat with you about it. Hit me up, call, text, email, whatever works best for you. All right, talk to you soon.